Hello, welcome back to uh, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I forgot the name of the game for a second. And yeah, we're going to continue with this. I'm so sorry, Mr. White. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone heard about the killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the files. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Niall Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to say with those killings, Emma? On the night prosecutor Niall Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means, yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Oh god, so? It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrible man came busting into the office. Joe Dark. It seems like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the light went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. But I saw them burn a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Doc stabbed Mr. Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must have been why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean providing bogus evidence? The prosecutor often wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's why it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It was all my fault. If I couldn't have testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Okay. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Oh. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14, that's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided when I grew up, I become a scientific evidence investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find evidence to make it airtight case. That's why Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I finally start to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken for questioning that day. Taken for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective officer and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana, the chief of prosecution, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I better have another talk with her. Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble, falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why would we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh, about how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SM9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of job? I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright. Ooh, yeah. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that the case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expect as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marsh can be. That trial really wasn't fair, was it? I believe in you, Lana. I believe that no matter what happened, you always stick to the truth. I couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped. At the trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all the drama aside, the fact of the matter is that there was a murder at the police department. Was the witness Mrs. Dorset? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why would you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! They still talk about the case she and Chief Gaunt cracked together. Chief Gaunt? He was deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scene. Damon Grant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before their reports could even be filled. Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor, what happened? I always planned to becoming a prosecutor. Then the reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes. So you could use the experience in court, right? Grant helped the SN9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about the investigation of there 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of detective investigating dark. Second in command, that means the investigate lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dog was a serial killer. We asked him to come in for question. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stage, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there he went straight to the office shared by Deputy Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw the 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had acquired a minor concussion and laid unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out to the room and just held her. Can't blame her after all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SM9 incident. That's right, quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extreme because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall? Yes, his action came out as a surprise to me as well. Every time his brother died, he changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ghouling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has a life, live the rest of their lives with their memories. The case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in front of Damon Gant and I shared her. The office that Mr. Gant now occupied by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SNI murder. Okay, let's move there. Criminal's affair. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem quite quiet around here today. You're right. The chief detective seems this time though. Why don't we go and look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Queer Sarah. You never know where life leads you, bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy tried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do a prospector heads rest? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me, all the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade with a broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the fact have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that SN9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day of the SN9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as. That's right, it was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was a thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something gone on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that case investigated save one was taken care of. Mr. Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation led Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief police, arranged for that to happen. She'd never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that you mention it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. Never found out. Lana's secret. Secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. That's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edward isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get guilty verdict, but someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gaunt. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad. I won't be around to work with you. Won't you become a real scientific investigator? Adios, Bambina. Okay. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. This means everybody busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for each other, they are in the conference room. Thanks. Well, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying that she did and the decision about what to do. About Mr. Edward not mention out statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. That more case going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we like to have a look. Let's just use the connection hallway to the building. Take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us going there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. But now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to Chief Officer. February 24, Police Department Chief Officer. Chief Office. Well, where am I? The Chief Prosecutor officially, at least that's what it says on the door. Check out the pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lesson in kindergarten. They used to call it Little Miss Batch. I thought it was genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where he was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gaunt. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, White, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kinda busy lately. I can appreciate that. I had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall misconduct and Lana's provocation statement. Provocation statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture of the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil and me. So this is Marshall's brother. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something not right with this picture. It's quite, didn't put my finger on it though. Gant, I see it. It's that little thingy on the shield. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was the crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate any. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate here anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems the case isn't over yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gaunt denied our request to search the crime scene. That means There must be a reason he doesn't want us to look around there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief office. Hey pal, Detective Gumshoe? Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather, my feet hurt. From sitting too so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both police department and prosecutor's office. It's something like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it's all boiled down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago, Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed if it's not like he knew the evidence was forged? Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes sir. Let's go for lunch again. Something like him. Yes sir. You gotta take my back to that joint sometime. Hey, okay Dick? Yes sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all the pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned with Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack. His final attack, you mean? When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. I mean, it seems Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what is it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with a murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look in all the witness somewhere, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon? It might jog his memory. Wait. Victim, trial date. Perpetrator Joe Dog. Okay, there isn't anything about Joe Dog was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. So it was an accident. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed that accident. Then he killed a lady. A kid walked by just then, so he killed. Oh God! What? A jogger came up on the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence, so he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of the question, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor, the crime that witnessed by son of a lucky Drake. But luckily Drake was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. About this. Hey, it's that. It has tag attached to it with the label 9 SM9 incident on it. I believe this would be the murder weapon you speak of. What are you doing with that? Ever since the case was closed, that knife been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Woman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what the incredible piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it came back to me. Well, what is it? Get quick before you forget again. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. They traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it. But no one actually witnessed him using this murder anyone, right? And that's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look at notice that. Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. You bet down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil, stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in its wound. The broken tip of finding body belonged to Joe Dark. There you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Grant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It was where prosecutor Neil Marsh was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective ID card can unlock the door. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'll be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. About this, I did tee up Goodman. That wouldn't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So, into other words, Gumshoe is the only chance of getting into. I wonder if there's something we would show him that would change his mind. Okay, what could we show him? Okay, Yes, there is a little bit of a thing here, meaning there was a sword here. Interesting. Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At the victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone as an executive officer number 1777. Okay, that's not 7. That's 17. Too many detectives. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. Okay, I guess. Here. No one here today. Not even Mrs. Storr. Everyone probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we provide court today, that one day of the crime. No one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I got to find out the answers by tomorrow. Where can I... There's not new blood here, right? Nah, there can't be. I wonder if I've put back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. I thought that day in court, huh? Tough day in court, huh? I had to live the past 2 years in the rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Ooh, can I present this? This picture was hanging on the wall on Chief Gunn's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when they received the King of Prosecutor's office. Speaking of that, it's something that bothers me. Yes, the trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I remember now. Remember what? That was the officer prosecution of the office looked like until 2 years ago. There was a story behind it. The sign. A story? Sounds like interesting. Would you mind telling us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. There is no excuse for what I done. 2 years ago I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase the fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share that bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the charge. As the prosecutors in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuse I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why was it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep his kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up to the trial tomorrow? First last year trial. And now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too last day to change prosecutor. I bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That's just odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at that time. Say we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day of Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in the ceremony of the station, right? I never cared for a ceremony, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those who received awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just order and encyclopedia. Okay, I cannot pronounce that one. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That's until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gaunt asked you to hold on to this, didn't he? Yes. It was a piece of evidence in case that was closed half a year ago. He had me to bring it to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we have heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you? That's right. This was originated from the ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written in two characters. The first means hell beard, and the second means shield. Have you heard the story? Me? Sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell me, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Shu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield that claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you heard this story before, right? Anyways, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize. Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's all nature pursue matter to their conclusion, even if it results in it something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You have to ask me, Chief Gaunt. 2 years ago he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gaunt. Okay. I wonder what he was waiting for. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Let's distract him, I'll check it out. Hey Edgeworth. Is that gumshoe out in the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on, first let me see what the girl is doing crawling around. He didn't even look. What? Letter for... If you're having trouble reading, I read it for you. It's a letter for resignation. Resignation? You don't mean... I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. But this effort, none of it is your fault. I know the path I walk, you don't need to tell me. And the path I walk hasn't been just one. I can't forgive myself for what I done. And no one else should forgive me either. Oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please you have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Okay. Hey, they say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently I was so caught up in the smoke I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth, the other are right. I had no right to serve as a prosecutor. But Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job. I was made my own decision about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgive myself, it's something I cannot do. Oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please do have this letter with resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Oh, I know. Okay. February prosecution office underground parking lot. Excuse me. Oh, I would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Mrs. Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. The sergeant are curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple on the Discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go dig up the case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the where the evidence from the case was. To for transfer, this can't be an attribute to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Steph Gummi with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Mrs. Starr hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Okay, I think this is enough for today. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have wish for notification, you can do that. But yeah, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and bye.